right. Hello, everybody. My name is Andre Turan. Welcome to Finding Everlasting Fitness. It's your every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock live stream from my little fitness space here, which I change around depending on what I do. Um, Finding Everlasting Fitness. What is that all about? Hello. Oh, Bridget figured out how to comment. Thank you. Thank you for being there. Um, Today's topic is creating fitness spells. What are fitness spells? Well, what is a spell? Words, incantations, thoughts that hopefully will help you to manifest something. So, first, I want to mention last week I did the 5 keys to everlasting fitness, and that was the very first program. The overall show is called Finding Everlasting Fitness, but that was just specifically 5 keys to finding everlasting fitness. And if you didn't see that and you want to find out what that's about, the show should all be cataloged. All these live streams should be on my Facebook page or at Andre's Online Fitness Club, which if you haven't liked or joined or whatever you have to do for that, just go there and like it or join it. And I'm always putting up information there. But you can just come to my Andre Turan page too. So these shows should just be like 15 minutes long. And if you have any questions toward the end, you got time to ask questions. We're going to get into different fitness programs eventually. But first, the most important thing, I believe, before starting a fitness program, and even if you're already doing a fitness program, as Bridget is doing, is mindset. Really, really important. Without that, you're not going to go anywhere. You'll start a fitness program, and you might get discouraged at some point. Stuff comes up in life. You might forget about it. You might lose momentum in the process of getting fit or staying fit. So, mindset is very important. And that's where these spells come in. You got to kind of put a spell on yourself to keep fitness in your life for the rest of your life. So we're going to kind of go over some points here, and I've been posting up on Facebook this week. That's the subject of the blogs that I put up. They're kind of lengthy, so if you're into reading, by the 5th day, by Friday, it's almost like a book. It'll be like a big chapter for sure. But if you're not into reading, that's what this live stream is here for. I could basically give you the lowdown on where we're going with that. But this is a practice that I've been doing. It's a practice that got me to set some world records. One world record, which is still out there, is the most squats in 24 hours. How does somebody get to do that? Stay focused for that period of time and do an official world record. That's pretty extreme. Mindset has to be a huge part of that to commit to 16,000 squats in that period of time. The Guinness Book of World Records actually wanted a lot more, but I knew I couldn't hit it. They wanted 30,000 squats. That was well beyond my reach of what I knew I can do. But that record, the 16,000, actually is 15,939. That went into 7 other world record books. The only record I have in the Guinness World Record book is push-ups. And that's something that I began to focus on when I was a child. I was probably 9 years old when I visualized myself in the Guinness Book of World Records. I remember the moment. I was right by a screen door. My cousin was there. And I was looking at the book, and I said, one day I'm going to be in this book. My picture's going to be in this book. I didn't know for what. I think I was looking at music, probably the Beatles and Elvis and their records. But I did a record, and I got my picture in the book, exactly as I pictured it. Now, that could be coincidence. You could say that's coincidence. But I've had so many situations like that in my life where I've created a visualization, and it's manifested. But I've developed some systems around this that I studied. I studied some Norman Vincent Peale ideas and books. And then Anthony Robbins actually sent me. I was working for a company back in, this must have been the early 2000s, when he sent me 2 box sets. He himself, as a thank you gift. Well, I'm sure one of his assistants sent it to me, but nonetheless, it was with a thank you note from Anthony. So, 2 box sets, and I listened to those tapes. They were actually CDs at the time, and totally transformed my thinking. It got me to shift from being in a job that I wasn't digging anymore at that point to just resigning with no other ideas of what I'm going to do other than I knew I wanted to be a trainer full time and in the country. That was it. So I just resigned. But I had so much passion, so much focus, but most importantly, I'll tell you what the key is here. Mindset. Okay, first let me define what is fitness. In my viewpoint, it's achieving longevity, working toward having health and wellness for a long life. That's what that means. Saving your joints from whatever exercise program you're doing, making sure that your joints stay alive for as long as your body stays alive. A lot of people blow out their backs, their elbows, their knees, and they can't work out anymore. So that's key. And finally is to be fully committed to the mindset of fitness. So here's the first point, and this is what I discovered, and these were the practices that changed my life in a lot of ways. Got me to break world records, got me to actually be a successful trainer in the country. Not even just resigning from a job with a family. Very little savings at the time. But I had a vision, and I was able to manifest the vision. The very first step is to get in touch with your negative thinking. It's not even the positive thinking, it's the negative thinking. We are addicted to negative thinking. I know I was. I still have a lot of negative thinking. It's never going to stop, but becoming aware of it is the very first step. Crucial to become aware of your negative thinking. And the tool that I use and that I recommend and I suggest is actually being able to set time aside every day, just 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes for a meditation to find your anchor is the first thing. What is an anchor? An anchor is a physical sensation. It could be, in my case, it's a high frequency. Some people call it tinnitus, however you pronounce it. Not quite sure that that's what it is because I hear a high frequency all the time. It doesn't go away. It's permanent. It's the most permanent thing. It's more permanent than my heartbeat, it seems. Although a heartbeat would probably be another good anchor. All right, something that I'm not consciously controlling. It's an unconscious mechanism in the body. But this, it's actually a sound. It's a high-pitched sound. Do you hear it? Some people, millions of people hear it. You can go on YouTube. You can search this, high-frequency meditations. And you'll see all the people that talk about it said, I didn't know what that was. It's a real thing. And it can be used in this way. It can be used to anchor yourself into a meditation. I find it is the best way to do it because the sound is always there. The more you practice it, I can even hear it when it's noisy out. I could bring my attention to it as I'm doing right now, as I'm talking. And what this is doing by me focusing on the high frequency in my case is it brings me in to the present moment. The more I key into that high frequency, the more I'm in the present moment. Taking me away from negative thinking, fearful thinking, ideas that I've given myself many, many years ago possibly, insecurities, low self-esteem, whatever it might be in your case. By coming into the present moment, the more you focus on whatever it is that your anchor is, the more you reduce the volume of that negative thinking. Do you hear it? Do you hear that sound? If not, that's cool. find something else. You could think about, try to feel the soles of your feet. Maybe that would work for you. Some people do the breathing. Like I said, the heartbeat, that could be another thing, but that's kind of, you have to put your hand there. Some people put their fingers together. Whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to be consistent with it. Whatever it is, that is what you commit to as your anchor. All right, so that's the first step. And when you're there in that present moment, ultimately the goal is for whether it's a minute, whether it's a split second, to have no thought. So normally we live our lives in the past, or we're thinking about the future. We kind of vacillate between the two. We want to find that space in the present. And when you are in the present, you can start hearing your negative thinking. It's going to become more apparent. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, whatever it might be. Oh, I can't sit here. This is irritating me. Whatever it is, it's perfectly fine. Be there with it. See your negative thinking. That's the very first step to overcome your negative thinking. Does that make sense? If you don't see it, if you don't become aware of it, you can never actually tackle it, overcome it, and then override it with positive thinking. So a lot of people think affirmations, positive thinking. Oh, just say positive things. No, won't work. It won't work because eventually the negative thinking will be louder. It's just the way we work. We're just attracted to that. It's a very rare individual that's going to be focused entirely on the positive all the time. So, you know what this is like? So, let's say I'm at a rock concert, really loud, you can't even hear anybody talking, right? And I'm yelling, who would like $1 million right now? All right, comment, who would like $1 million right now? No, don't do that. Yelling, but nobody can hear it because the music is so loud. That loudness, that's the negative thinking. You're not going to get your positive thoughts across. You have to learn how to diminish the volume of the negative thoughts. So now let's talk about affirmations. Let's say you've gotten your anchor set. You've been sitting for 5 minutes. You've been doing that for a month, which is probably a reasonable time. Take 5 minutes, any time of day. Close your eyes, sit, find your anchor, and stay there with the anchor. So in my case, it's the high pitch. If you can hear the high pitch, that's the best tool, I think. If you can't, find something else. The breathing, just bring your attention to that moment. If you lose the attention on whatever it is that you're focusing on, just keep trying to come back. Just keep trying to come back. That's all you can do. Don't worry about losing it. Even if you can't focus for 5 minutes, that means you just have to practice more. But be patient because it's like a muscle and it's a miracle. It really does click at a certain point. And eventually you'll be able to do it throughout the day, just like I'm doing it right now. I'm always bringing my attention back to the present moment. Okay, so where does this lead to fitness? Right? It's directly associated with fitness because the idea is not to start an exercise program this month. I don't know what I'll be doing in 6 months. No! The idea is to be committed, have the mindset that I am getting fit. It's not about the exercise program, it's I am getting fit. I am fit. I am strong. I am energetic. Whatever it might be, affirmations. You want these positive thoughts. You want them to override the negative thoughts. So that is the next step. How to create an affirmation. You want to create a statement to yourself that's optimally positive, idealistic statement. I wrote one down here. This is one that I use. I use it I usually have 10 words. I am extremely strong with endless endurance, mental stamina, and clarity. I kind of clumped it all together. I wanted it in one big. So I am extremely strong with endless endurance, mental stamina, and clarity. All right? It's very important for me to be focused, especially while I'm exercising and just as I'm talking to you right now, to have clarity, to be cogent in how I speak. It's really important. So I focus on these types of positive thoughts. All the meanwhile, I'm anchored in to the present moment. I'm not thinking of a negative thought. Oh, what if I mess up my words? Blah, blah, blah. That might happen to some people who have fear of public speaking, for example. I have fear of public speaking, but I turn down that volume and I focus on the positive. You can apply this to fitness as well. Daily practice is crucial. Sorry, 5 minutes. That's all I ask of you. You can build it up to 20 minutes, but that's the max that you really need to do. Find that anchor and then add the affirmations in. Start with one affirmation. And finally, this would be the 5th day of my blog this week, is combining it with exercise. I combine it with squats. Each word is one of the affirmation words. Each squat, rather, is one of the affirmation words. So 10 squats is 10 words in the affirmation. You can do it with running, jogging, any repetitive motion exercise. Absolutely beneficial. What's beautiful about it is when you do a repetitive movement exercise, you are in the moment, especially when you're jogging or doing squats, or it could be done with even more intense exercises, but we're not going to go there right now. You're anchored into the moment because of the exercise. So not only are you focusing on whatever your anchor is, but also being in the body, in the moment, combining that with the affirmation, the spell, and then your body's creating all this energy. What's going to happen? That energy is going to radiate out. I believe there's magic in that, and that is creating a fitness spell. So every Wednesday at 7 p.m. I'm going to explore different ideas about fitness. Some of them will be more practical than others, but this to me is the most important aspect, so that you stay focused and that you create the greatest fitness that you could possibly create for yourself for the rest of your life. And if you come on, you're always welcome to ask questions. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.